subs, absolute shambles. But specifically on Amarim, I think this is like an ego trip between, the higher ups and Amarim. If you look at it from an objective point of view, position in the table doesn't really make sense. Position of the table, where the team at is in terms of availability of players. Like we kind of by a miracle only 3 points off top four, right? And you've got your, basically the entire side of your right-sided, of the team out for AFCON. Bruno, your main creative players out, and we're getting these draws that we really, really should be getting wins, right? So I think objectively, when you look at it, it's a bit like, he's not languishing in, 15th or whatever. But I think I heard someone say we're as close to third position as we are to like 15th or something. So that kind of puts it in perspective, like from, fifth to like 13th, it's like 4 points. So, you can look at that either way. But as of right now, we're joint fifth, we're sixth. So objectively, you can look at it like that. But I think this is also, this is an ego battle. You can't make comments like that towards your bosses, your higher ups. I think it's frustration. The whole coach versus manager thing, like he was brought in as a head coach. But this is where like I completely understand his point. To make that 3-4-3 work, you have to be a manager in terms of bringing in the players and signing off like the players, like Arteta does for Arsenal, right? He works with the higher ups, right? But football's like changing from that. You got director of football, technical directors, you got all these other, people in positions that don't just look at the current manager, that look at the future and look at different play styles and bringing in players like that. But for Rubens' system, Manchester United, to go from wingers to wingbacks is such a drastic change. You kind of need to listen to the guy being like, okay, this player can play in this position, this player can play in this position. He doesn't have to have the final say, but he has to have a good input. And I think these guys they just didn't measure the magnitude of this change. So Ineos' track record is bugging me massively. Like they've just messed up so many times now, which is I'm protesting them, I'm protesting the Glazers, everyone at this point. But yeah, I just think I can see both sides, but just because Ineos have sacked Ruben, like don't lose fact of how badly Ineos' decisions have been been appearing. Like you can look at Dan Ashford, Eric Ten Hag, now Ruben. There's no trust there.